I am about to, if you don't know my art yet, get to know my art because I am about to, it looks like this joint is popping in and out. There we go. Word. Word. Right. What we're working with here. Gotta get my gesso. Who's tuning in? Gotta get my camera right for you guys. Let me set this up right here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So first and foremost, if you guys are jumping in right now, what I'm doing is I'm setting up my camera so that I can get a good picture, obviously, when I create my long form videos. I need some more lighting in here. Okay. All right, this is perfect. This is perfect. Okay, my exposure is way too high though. All right, so now I gotta introduce. Yo, who's jumping on? When are you guys gonna jump on, yo? Damn. All right, so you guys can see how I film these videos. You guys can see legit the behind the scenes. All right, word. See how this looks. Okay. By the way, if you guys just jumped in, I'm just filming this video right now for you guys to show you guys how I do my process, my wood art. And I'm in the process of filming and going live at the same time, so it's a little hard. But you basically can see the legit behind the scenes on how I film these videos and what it takes to create these, oh damn. And what it takes to create these long form videos, because yo guys, these are not easy. Like, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of practice, and also too, like look at all this lighting. I have lighting there, I have lighting all in here, out front, which is natural light, and then I also have these overhead lights too. So it also takes a lot of work to create these videos that people just don't realize. So I have my camera set up right here. Let me show you guys how it looks. Right, that is my canvas. That is what the shot that I want to get. And then this is what I'm going to be painting on. You can't see what I'm painting on really because the lines are really faint, but this is my canvas right now. So you guys can get to see how I paint. Well, right now I'm just applying gesso. So I'm not doing anything crazy. I'm just applying the gesso before I add the paint, because if you don't add the gesso, the paint is not gonna have anything to adhere to. So before you paint on wood, what you want to do is you want to apply some type of a gesso. I'm using this gesso. It's a transparent gesso because I have lines in here that I still need to see after I apply this. So if you apply white gesso, which is just blank white, it's gonna look white and you're not gonna be able to see anything under it. But if you use something like this, which is a clear gesso, you're gonna be able to see the lines that you created underneath. And that is the goal. So let me go get a brush. Alright, so I got this brush and I got this brush. Alright, word. And to be honest, I haven't really seen a lot of people using clear gesso. Like, I bet there's people out there that use clear gesso. I just don't really see people using it as much as I do. To be honest, I'd rather use clear gesso than, my bad. I saw something that I needed to fix here. I personally rather use clear gesso because I can always work around clear gesso. When people use like thick white gesso, it's really thick and you get to, sometimes you see it in the painting, and if you're not very careful with or really vigilant in making sure that you cover that thing with paint, you're gonna have a lot of that on your painting and it almost looks a little corny. If you're somebody like that, I'm sorry, but I gotta be honest. All right, cool. So I want you guys to see, oh shoot, oh, it started. I want you to see how this clear gesso looks. So you see it looks white, but it actually is clear. So you can still see the markings that I have underneath it, which is exactly what I want. All right, cool. Let's put you back. Put you guys back. Okay, word. Yo, how you guys doing today, man? Today was a crazy day for me. As I was working on a couple things this morning, I got a call from a client that wanted to meet up with me. They wanted to show me a new mural or site that they had. And they changed locations and they wanted me to go see it. So it basically like took my mornings. I had a schedule going. I have a get-to-do list every single morning. And today I didn't get to stick to that schedule. My day just got rocked. And then as I was out there, I was just like, well, since I'm out here, let me go and get a couple supplies for my house because I'm out here, which was like 30 minutes away from my house. And then I got hit with like errands to do, right, around the house and shit. And I'm like, damn, now I gotta do these things. And I know that I don't have to do those things. I chose to do it, but I did it anyways. And it was a lot of work. I actually got back to my studio to start working around 3 p.m. today, which I wanted to start working in my studio around 10 a.m. this morning. So, and not to say that it's not, I didn't lose part of the day, right? Because like all of it is work still. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just a part of life. So even when you own a business, you still got a lot of like shit to do. You know, I don't have people doing it for me yet. Hopefully one day I will, but not right now, not yet. Not yet. Hey, how's it going, Jackie Johnson? I don't know who you are, but I'm pretty sure you're a cool person. Most of my people here on Instagram are really like, I enjoy creating for YouTube. I mean, I said Instagram. I really enjoy creating for YouTube. I truly do. It's probably been, it's one of the hardest things that I've ever done, especially me wanting to, you know, be big. Of course, I have goals of having millions of subscribers, and you guys can help. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe. No, I haven't done a children's book. Why? Do you want me to? Not that I can like just do one out of the blue, but if you hire me, like let's talk. You know, I did have somebody interested though. Somebody was interested in doing a children's book with me, but they never got back to me. So that idea just kind of like went downhill. But if you are interested in doing something, reach out. My email and everything, my contact info is on my page. So make sure you subscribe, reach out, and let's talk. Let's have a phone conversation or something. Yo, guys, I gotta say, man, like, painting can be very, very frustrating, but it's also extremely rewarding, especially when you're like working on something that you've had an idea for a long time and you like get to recreate it from the top of your head. Like, that honestly is like the best feeling in the world. So when you see that come to fruition and come to life, it's like, wow. And I know many of you can't see what I'm doing and what I'm creating, but I'm telling you, this one is gonna be good. I think all of my paintings are really good, but this one is one that really comes from the heart. It comes from the soul of like something that I'm trying to recreate. And if you don't know, I just got back from Japan a couple of months ago, and this new body of work that I'm creating is inspired by my trip to Japan. And I'm having a solo show in November 1st. It's a long ways away, but I have a lot of time and I want to create 20 art pieces. I know that's a lot. It's a lot of work that I have going on, but I know I can do it. And that's why I'm working in my time. It is 7 p.m. at my time, and I am working late nights sometimes because I have a lot of work ahead of me, and I know I can do it. So I took the challenge. Thank you. I appreciate you, Andrew Wilson. God is good. He's been blessing me for so long. I honestly, like, I mean, I'm a full-time artist, right? Like, I'm a full-time artist. I have an art studio that I'm working out of. It's my art studio that I own, that I built, not with my own hands, but you know, I created it with the help of my hands, I guess. I designed it. I designed my space. And if you haven't seen, I have a tour of my art studio on YouTube, so you can take a look at it. And in my opinion, it's the best art studio in Charlotte, North Carolina. You know what? Let me just show you guys real quick. Not the whole thing, but you know, this is my art studio, by the way. Welcome. All right, let's get back to the painting. And because I have you guys on live right now, I'm like forgetting about my camera that is right here next to me. But this is not an important shot of the film that I'm trying to create. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm just like, I gotta be mindful of it. So if you guys if you can, please remind me, Junior, you have a camera going on. Don't forget it. And it happens a lot sometimes where I forget that I'm recording, and it happens all the time. I forget that I'm recording, and then I'm like, shit, I have to stop the recording, you know? One of the hardest things for me in the beginning was when I started doing content was picking up the camera at first. So like, I had a habit of, what happened? Okay, we're good. I had a habit of just painting. I didn't have a habit of picking up a camera and showing people what I was doing. I never showed a process video. And I wanted to be one of those creators, right? Like, I wanted to be a creator that inspired other artists to pursue their dreams and go after their dreams, just the same way I did mine, right? But the hardest things for me was being able to learn, okay, June, this is when you pick up a camera and this is when you start filming, you know? And I just forgot to do a line here. All right, word. I think we're set. I think we're Gucci. Yo, well, like if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you subscribe. I have a lot of good content out there. If you are an artist or interested in art, I have a lot of videos. I'm gonna be reaching 100 videos this year. Isn't that crazy, yo? 100 long form videos this year. That's like wild. And you get to be a part of it. You get to see it, and you get to be the beginning. And I know I have 5,000 subscribers right now. My goal is to reach 1 million. You think I could do it? Don't laugh at me. Yo, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's saying good things about my art. Yo, one of my posts actually on Instagram went viral. It got 1.1 million views. 1.1 million views. Isn't that crazy? I got mad love on it, but I also got mad hate. And the hate didn't sit well with me, to be honest. It actually messed with me. It messed with me a little bit because, you know, when you get that much hate at once, you start to question your art. You start to ask yourself, are you even like, is your stuff even good? You know, um, am I meant to do this? You know, and those are the hardest things about being an artist because you're constantly fighting with the inner critique in yourself and then also the battles of showing the art to the world. Like showing your art to the world is like the hardest thing you could possibly ever do because you're being vulnerable, right? Like you're basically opening up yourself to the world to critique your art and to exploit it. That's like you opening up inside of you and being like, yo, look at my inner self, you know? And your creativity sometimes is guarded. You want to guard your creativity. You want to make sure that you protect it. So now when you start to like open up yourself and like start showing the world your art, you're now going to get criticized. And whether it's good or bad, whether you're criticized good or bad, people are gonna criticize your work, whether they like it or they don't like it. And it's up to you to like take that criticism how you want to take it. You know? Um Scary world out there, to be honest. Very, very scary world. But you know, you gotta just keep your head right. And that's why I do a lot of the things that I do are good for my mental health because as an artist I don't want to lose myself. I don't want to lose myself to drugs, which thank God I don't do drugs anymore. I used to do a lot of drugs back in the day. And I'm not just talking about weed. I did a lot of like stupid stuff. A lot of stupid stuff. Um Damn, you're making me get vulnerable right now. So I'll be honest with you guys. I actually was arrested in my 10th year anniversary is coming up. I was arrested 10 years ago because I was addicted to drugs. And it wasn't good. I was addicted to drugs. I got caught with all these drugs and it wasn't a good time in my life. I questioned a lot about who I was, what I was doing with myself, and the person that I was becoming. But you know, I look back on that and I'm grateful that that happened. I thank God for that because if I didn't do that, if that didn't happen, I still would have gone down that path. And it was like the best realization that, you know, I needed that. I needed that. I needed the universe to kind of like tell me like, yo, like this is not who you are. You know, you can be better than this. And you know, look at where I'm at now, right? Like it's just the best thing in the world. I talk a little bit about that in my documentary. If you haven't seen my documentary, it is on YouTube. It's called More Than Art documentary, and I touch on me going into the drug world and me getting arrested and me dealing with a lot of like addictions and stuff. I don't go into it too much because that's not part of like that's not the film like that. I didn't want the film to be just about that. I wanted the film to be about like my journey in art and stuff. So I talk more about that than I do what happened. But you get a glimpse into what happened to me and how I went down that road. And what's crazy about that life too is that it can happen to anybody, right? Like you can get caught up in anything, anything. So that's why you got to keep your head right. You know, you got to keep your head right. You got to make sure that you avoid the distractions that are going to take you down paths that you don't want to be in. So I started doing things that were good for me. I started doing things that made me happy. That was the main important thing, is doing things that made me happy, because the things that I was doing was not making me happy at all. So I'm just grateful, yo. I'm grateful to be a full-time artist. I'm grateful to be here. I'm grateful to have people like you watching me as I create my art, right? As I create my passion. So let me see what you guys are saying. The only person you have to prove is to yourself, and remember, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey in itself. Absolutely. Yes, it's about the destination, it's about the journey, it's about the journey, it's not the destination. It is the journey, it's the person you become in the journey. And that I keep to myself. I say to myself all the time, you know? Because the thing is too, if you think about it, I actually wrote about this in my journal the other day. If you think about the destination wherever you want to go, right? Like I think about me being an artist that's known worldwide. Let's say I become that artist that's known worldwide tomorrow. Let's say that happens. Here's what's crazy about that is that I'm gonna want more, right? I'm gonna want more. Like every time I've reached a goal, I've always felt like, yes, I'm grateful, I'm happy, but I want more, you know, and I couldn't help myself from wanting more. So it's really not about the goals or the destination. It's about the journey. So whoever said that, I appreciate you. Thank you. Because that's facts right there. That is absolute facts. Thank you. And thank you for that reminder. For those of you jumping on now and don't know what I'm doing, I am painting a piece that I was inspired by in Japan. So I recently just got back from Japan a couple months ago, and I'm creating a body of work inspired by that trip. And that's one thing I'm very grateful for too, is I'm able to travel the world as a full-time artist. I'm able to afford to travel the world as a full-time artist. Not a lot of artists can say that, you know, and I'm saying that. Like, you know, I've been to many, many countries around the world. I've been to recently Japan. I've been to Europe. In Europe, I went to Paris, traveled a little bit around France. I went to Belgium. Where else did I go? Amsterdam. You know, in Belgium, I traveled all the country entirely. I wish I would have stayed more in Belgium, which was incredible. Been to Costa Rica. I've been to Canada. I mean, Canada is right by where we live. So, I mean, of course, I've been to Canada, but not a lot of people have been. So I'm grateful that I have, you know. Where else have I gone? 2 years ago, I went to Egypt, which was an incredible trip. Definitely a trip that I probably would never go again. And that's, to be honest with you guys, Egypt was not a place that I believe I would want to travel to again. And I just didn't feel safe there, you know? I didn't feel safe when I traveled to Egypt. It was weird, you know, like I traveled with a group of people that I didn't know. And we all met there. Hold on, let me turn off my camera. All right, cool. And we all met there. And I was open to meeting new people. I honestly took the trip because I wanted to travel to that part of the world because I've always wanted to. But what was so weird, yo, is that we had a group of 9 people in Egypt, and we had a guide who was guiding us across the country. You know, very cool, very, you know, insane experience. Like, wow, like, you know. But what was strange was that we had a bodyguard the whole entire time. So you think, wow, like, you know, you have protection. This bodyguard had a freaking Uzi with him the whole time. Like, he had an Uzi. And I'm like, what? What do you, like, what? why do you have an Uzi? Like, what happened? Like, should I be afraid? You know? And what's crazy is that this bodyguard was just not walking around with us, like, just smoking a cig, just chilling. This dude was alert the whole entire time. Like, he was alert to the point where he was like looking to see if like we were always safe. And I'm like, every time, like, as he was, and I know he was just doing his job and like that's what he was meant to do, but good Lord, I'm like, yo, is something gonna happen to me? So I couldn't get that out of my mind. That's one. And then two, if you decide to go to Egypt, make sure that you are aware of the hagglers. Like, they're gonna come at you full body. Like, they're gonna come at you so hard, and they're gonna try to take your money. Not like physically take your money from you, but they're gonna force you to buy things from them. Force you. And if you're not vigilant on that, if you're not like somebody that's like can say no, oh man, that's you just went into a feeding frenzy. They're gonna take all of your money. And like they're gonna do it so respectfully and so nicely, but they're gonna keep haggling you, and you're gonna keep, and you're just gonna, they're gonna force you to say whatever, just take my money. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't do that. You can't be like that. You can't be like that. You gotta be, be a hustler as well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so Egypt was a great place to visit once in your life. Well, for me, and I'm like, I'm good. And if anybody's from Egypt watching this, I'm so sorry. Like, I really don't mean to be disrespectful or rude. I'm just being honest. You probably have things about our country, the United States, but shit, I'm being honest, yo. I'm being honest. Great experience, like I said, but would I ever do it again? Absolutely not. I'll stay my ass here in the United States, where we have even worse things happen to us here. No, not like that, but you know what I mean? Awesome. This is coming out just like how I wanted to. Okay. And as if you also new here to the chat and want to see what I'm doing or want to know what I'm doing, I am applying a clear gesso to a design that I put in. And by the way, guys, I actually used MetaQuest VR to put this design on. If you guys are an artist and you want to learn the process of MetaQuest VR, I don't have a video on that. Maybe I should create one. But to be honest, it was hard to learn how to put the artwork on it in order for me to project it onto this. And anything, like, it's a process. And I don't know if I know how to explain that process, because I saw it in a video and it was hard for me to understand the video. And I'm like, how in the world would I ever explain this if I wanted to show my viewers what I'm talking about, you know? I can try, but to be honest, guys, like I like, YouTube is not my life. It's just a part of my business that um, I am going after. And what my goal for this is to spread inspiration to other artists and to other people around the world. But other than that, there's no way I have the time to like devote so much energy, you know? Let me get you guys a little closer to see what I'm doing here. So you guys can see the actual painting. Let's do it this way. So you guys can see my design that I've done there. And here is now I'm gonna be filling in this whole entire thing. And if you see these like pencil marks, that's my guide. And if you can see, the clear gesso is allowing me to paint within those lines and still see the lines when I'm done with them. I got a little over those lines there, which I didn't want, but that's okay. Okay, word. This is my camera back on, because I'm close. Okay. All right, cool. All right, guys. So I'm almost done with the piece. I'm not gonna hold you guys for too long, but I appreciate everybody that was on the chat. Thank you so much, and I will catch you guys soon. I'll be doing this a lot more often, so catch me on my next live. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Love you guys. Peace.